get the two-point conversion as well. Eli, be happy for your big bro.
That's Cooper right there. Say that about Cooper Chris. The Gatorade bag.
That looks funny on TV, too.
He's part of that family.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Reese's Roundup. I am your host, the Lightning Kid himself, and today we are going to be talking about the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 50. What a fantastic game. Now everybody wants to say, oh my gosh, the game was boring. Oh my gosh, the game put me to sleep. Oh my gosh, the game was rigged. But guys, listen. You have the top two defenses in the league. Are you really going to sit here and say that this game was boring because the top two defenses in the league played against each other? What would you expect? A 54-49 game? Of course it's going to be low scoring. I mean, you know, you got the best defense in the Broncos and the second best in the Panthers. Of course, you know, obviously it's going to be low scoring. Now, here's the controversy in this game. This was a great game. I watched it all the way through. I didn't want to watch it because, you know, Cardinals weren't in it. I couldn't sit here and see that, but I had to do it for you guys. So here's the controversy behind it. Now everybody wants to say, oh, the game was rigged because Peyton Manning's last game, possibly, because Cam Newton, he's such a whatever. Guys, listen. Cam Newton was put on his ass all game. They had no game plan for this guy. I can't lie to you. I don't want to sit here and say that the Cardinals had a fantastic defense going into that game because Carson Palmer was just absolutely ass. So, obviously, the Panthers are going to have scored so much points against the Cardinals. But against the Broncos, who not only sat down, shut up Tom Brady for that whole, not that whole entire game, but, you know, a majority of the game, they put him on his ass. So if you don't think that they were going to do that to Cam Newton, who was far less better than Tom Brady, then you are absolutely insane. Because that Broncos defense was dynamite. That Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, everybody, you know, that game was incredible. And everybody wants to sit here and say now that, oh, it wasn't a catch. Now, look, guys, look. Are we really going to sit here and say that was going to be the deciding factor of the game? Were the Panthers really going to put any points on the board because of that catch? Now, I don't want to lie. I want to sit here and say, I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't think it wasn't a catch. Because at first glance, I thought it was a catch. I didn't think it was a catch. But then I saw the replay, and it looked like a catch to me. But then I saw it again. It looked like the nose of the ball hit the ground as he was coming down. He didn't look like he had full possession of it. It's like the refs never knew this entire, like, the whole season, nobody ever knew what was a catch and what wasn't. They never figured that out because ever since Des Bryant's whole he caught the ball, you know, like, everybody's been bashing the referees for so long in this season for not knowing what a catch was. So you take that play away. Okay, say the Panthers scored on that drive. You know, they either got 3 or they got 6 in the extra point. So take that, give them that. They have 17, or no, they have they have 7. Okay, they have 17, and the Broncos didn't score their touchdown. They also have 17. They go into overtime. The Broncos win. You see where I can just make up something too. It's like you never know what could have happened during that. And the only reason the Panthers even got a touchdown to begin with was because Aqib Talib was being an idiot that whole entire drive. He gave up 2 personal fouls, a face mask, and what was the other one? Was it like defensive holding or something like that? Or yeah, like a pass interference on a 4th down or something like that. And they got a first down out of that. And that's the only reason why the Panthers even got downfield and scored. They would still have 3 points. So to sit here and say that the Broncos didn't deserve that is like they didn't deserve a touchdown, or the Panthers would have scored on that play if he caught the ball. It's like, are you serious? Like, you're really gonna base that off of one non-call? And the refs have been bad all year. Don't get me wrong, but that's not going to be the deciding factor. But anyway, back to the Peyton Manning had a pretty solid game. Nothing too extraordinary because that defense was carrying him out that whole game, but he played well enough to have his team come. I can't even say his team because he didn't win that game for the Broncos, and I can't sit here and lie. He did not win that game. Food tray. He did not sit here and win that game. So for Peyton Manning to he didn't win MVP. Von Miller. Okay, so Von Miller won MVP of that game, and that's deserving because Peyton Manning went like he completed like 30 plus of his passes. Not completed, but he threw 30 plus of his passes. Completed about less than 20, maybe 20, and he, like that. I can't lie though. The Panthers were really getting to him. That Panthers defense was like on him too as well. But he focused hard enough to have given his team enough like leeway. He worked the clock. He was close enough, and just Cam Newton just couldn't find a way to come back and win that game. They had 10 points all game, and like I said, if Aqib Talib never committed those 2 fouls, they might have just had 3. It could have been 24-3. But regardless of the non-catch, the fouls, and just Cam Newton absolutely crying like a baby, it was just music to my ears. Honestly, I called this game. I told you guys. Everybody wanted to doubt me. Everybody said, "Oh, the Panthers, they're gonna demolish the Broncos." But was I the only? I know I couldn't have been the only one going for the Broncos. But I'm gonna go on a limb here and say Broncos 200 and Panthers 0. Now I'm gonna say it's although the defenses will be at it, I think it will be a pretty high scoring game. So I'm gonna say 34-27. Broncos, but whatever, next it's a wrap. I think it's a wrap for Peyton. He'll go on and get his second ring. He's broken all the records. He's broken the passing yards record. He's broken the touchdowns record. He has a pretty bad playoffs record. But everybody wants to say Brady's the best, but Peyton Manning has a better head-to-head record against Brady in the I think he's like 3-1, 4-1 against Brady in the playoffs. So is Brady really better than Peyton at that point? So I think I want to give the edge to Peyton here. He's got 200 wins. You don't get that by not being great. So I really Peyton Manning's a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. But then again, T.O. didn't get in, so. Is he really? It was a great game. People will call it boring. People will call it rigged. I thought because I have my team is known for their defense. I know what it's like playing a defensive game, nothing but a defensive game. So I was really pulling for the Broncos. I really did not want to see Cam Newton dab his way into the championship. That would have been annoying, and Panthers fans would have been annoying. And Panthers fans have been annoying all season for playing non-top-notch defensive teams. So I gotta give this one to the Broncos, man. They really deserved it. The defense carried them all the way through. Now, with what they have now, if Peyton Manning really does end up retiring, would they win more games? Because their defense has been playing lights out through and through. And if Brock Osweiler is going to be their starting quarterback for many more seasons to come with that defense, who knows if they might win, who knows if they might lose. Because at the end of the day, defense does win championships, but they can't put up all points on the board. So I haven't seen enough from Brock Osweiler to know that this guy is playoff caliber material, but he has been under Peyton Manning for a few seasons, so we'll see just how well he does next season, if this is Peyton Manning's last rodeo. As for the Panthers, we'll have to see how they do next season, because 15-1 is a great record, don't get me wrong, but they did not really play many top-notch teams. They played the Packers, they played I think Seattle they played this season, but that was it. I mean, Seattle never really came through until the playoffs, or until the end of the season. And the Packers, they weren't really they were just overrated that whole season because they didn't have Jordy Nelson and a couple other guys. Eddie Lacy gained like 500 pounds And but don't get me wrong, the Panthers did their thing in the playoffs. They beat my team. I didn't think they would have. They beat Seattle. Seattle was overrated going into the playoff stuff. They should have lost to the Vikings. And that's it. I think they only played those two teams. I gotta see what the Panthers do next season. Other than that, you know, they played lights out. They can't let this bring them down. So we'll see what happens next season for them. Next season though, I called Pittsburgh Steelers and Arizona Cardinals in a rematch at the beginning of the season. So it's too early to tell now. I'll give my predictions for next year's Super Bowl in a couple more months. But now that's the end of football season. I won't be wearing any more Cardinals gear until I hear something, you know, some major topic about football. But you know, that's it for football. We got basketball and we got boring ass baseball to talk about now. So leave me some suggestions on what I should talk about next week, guys. That's gonna do it for today's video. Is Peyton Manning gonna go down as one of the greatest? Is he gonna go down as the greatest? You know, leave a comment, let me know. Let me know what I should talk about next week. This is it for your boy. Holla at me. I'll see you next time. Peace.